Ladies and gentlemen, boys and the girls, welcome to a very exciting double feature, a dual unboxing. We're going to do one stream right now. Following this one, we'll do the second stream just so the algorithm, both of them, can kind of reach whatever prospective viewers that they will reach. My name is Zach. I'm joined by Dean the Dream Martin and Lane the Midnight Collector. And Lane has a figure that is so, figure set rather, that's so massive. We've had to bring in Lane Cam 2, a rare occurrence on live unboxing, but very
Yep.
excited to see this, Lane. So tell us, what do we have today?
So we will have Commander Appo. This is going to be not the. This is Commander Appo with the BARC speeder. So it's not the one that has the sidecar because I just said yeah that definitely not going to fit anywhere. I watched it get unboxed yesterday live, just the thing, and I was like going like, ooh, yeah, nope. And also, you guys might have seen, anybody who's seen it, it has that little plastic piece, which is what
Mm-hmm.
you attach both of them to then attach to the
Uh huh.
main connection onto the base. Looks so ugly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. We got Toy Mafia, Two Countries, SpongeBob SquareBalls, The Everyday Collector,
Hey,
and
God.
Toy Cartel in the chat. Toy Cartel says just got my Battle Cat today. Really happy with it. We
Oh
actually had a
hell yeah!
few Patreon members that got theirs today. Unfortunately, we couldn't work it out to have them on today. It was kind of short notice. But
Those
Lane,
battle
you've
cats look very cool. Like,
dude, that thing is huge.
yeah.
It's
Well, I
massive.
mean, if you think about it, if you remember seeing, PCS or was it no Tweeterhead was putting out the 1/6 scale statue, of He-Man and Battle Cat. It was like 23 inches taller or something. It was
Yeah.
massive for 6 scale. So I'm not surprised the figure is ridiculous. Hey,
What's
Yomo.
up, Yomo? Lane, so we have Appo out of the box already. I think you were
Correct.
saying you wanted to focus mostly on the Bark Speeder.
Speeder and everything, because I already actually messaged Terry over from who works from Sideshow. I asked him, would this be a bad idea to like attach him to the Bark Speeder and stuff, and he was like, yeah, it should be sort of easy, but he said he might be better you trying to put him on it at your own speed necessarily. So
Yeah.
I wanted everybody to have some equal time to see the figure because I know there are people and collectors who are
Hmm.
just interested in the clone trooper himself.
Yeah.
Because I've had a couple people ask me, "Hey, are you going to be selling the clone trooper?" I was like, "Nope,
Dude,
nope,
he's a hot ticket item. We
yep."
got John in the chat as well. Facebook user said, "Have you guys seen the Mars Toys 89 Alfred?" We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. We don't have a lot of time to
Yeah.
talk toys outside of this one today, but we'll touch on that tomorrow for
Alfred's
sure.
getting a lot. He's got that quarter scale statue coming tomorrow for pre-order tomorrow that everybody is a flutter for about because it's the first Alfred
Focus
statue
lane.
ever.
Focus lane.
But we'll get on to Appo here. He's pretty basic for Trooper, but he has some interesting look and everything. Now, I have looked at some screenshots. Uh, thanks. I didn't need that image, John. Thanks. Um, but uh, that he does have some of the look and everything not exactly match up with Appo from the Clone Wars and stuff. Some of the
Yeah,
particulars
like
with
the
the outfit
arrow.
stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't even remember Appo. So I was
Yeah.
like, it's like, okay, I guess, I'm not as super locked into all these guys look exactly alike, but it's like Fox,
Yeah.
phase one. Fox to me was something because there's no other phase one armor clone. So
It's kind of an oddity.
yeah, what do you put him with? Even though I
Yeah.
thought he looked really cool. But
Appo's a blink and you miss a character in Clone Wars, and then he's kind of retconned to be more important than he initially was with the "It's Time to Go Now, Sir" clone from Episode 3, and then
yeah.
in the old, they're not canon anymore, but in the um, after Episode 3. It's not the Episode 3 novelization. Appo is his commander, Vader's commander, the 501st. I assume to replace Rex, which I don't even know if Rex was invented back then,
No,
but
Well, Rex wasn't a commander at the time. He was still a captain,
yeah.
except he was made a commander, retconned or whatever stuff, because Rex didn't exist
Yeah,
until
exactly.
Clone Wars.
Hmm.
He was a commander during the Siege of Mandalore because they split
Yep.
part of the 501st.
There you go.
But Appo here, he does have some unique things with him, like the bandolier, his pauldron and
Pauldron.
stuff this is the first with this one, so he does have that to him. You know, there's been, I know with these the clone troopers that comes with the Barks. You know, which one do people like better, Appo or the heavy ordnance? I think
Yeah.
there's plus and minuses to both. I think overall, just because with the comment, everything we're going to take a look at here in a second, Appo might be a little bit cooler, but I think the thing that gets him is just because the helmet here is just
Hmm.
your standard 501st clone one. It feels
It's
like
such a
him
shame that.
and or because the ordnance one has the commander type like Cody and
Yeah.
Vaughn, Captain Vaughn. It feels like they should be flipped or something.
Yeah. Maybe.
I know the only clone trooper helmet I went, man, I think it looks ugly, so it helped me not to buy the thing was
Uh
the
huh.
ARF trooper.
Dean, is it possible? I don't want to like. I know you're still kind of recovering, but at some point during this stream, is it possible that you can grab the Appo that I made, the custom one that you got off me, so we can take a look at it?
Uh, not at the moment.
Okay.
My DTOF is, yeah, I can't get to
Yeah.
it.
Okay. All right. It was worth a
Okay.
shot.
So, guys, just for like I said, we're going to spend most of the time with the Bark, but so what Appo for his accessories that are standard clone ones, obviously he does not come with a lot, just the regular blasters and then, you know, the regular DC blaster rifle version we usually see with pretty much all of them. Um, you know, standard colorization and everything. I am a little disappointed he only comes with 4 hands, but it seems like that's becoming a running gag
Yeah, I don't.
in
When I
general.
saw you take that box out, I thought that was kind of odd.
But the blaster, obviously standard painting and everything, still always looks good. I mean, these are a nice blaster design. They don't. I mean, you may be. I'm not going to say you can't get tired of them, but they always look good. The paints on all the different versions with all the troopers always
Uh huh.
looks good. Hey, little Titan, how are you doing? Never have any complaints with the blasters. Mostly there's blaster hands. Now, I will say when I do finally put Appo, Terry was very nice and he basically said for the hand, I said, like, how should for putting, because one of the scariest things with these guys is putting the, you know, hands and attaching the trooper to the um, actual speeder itself. I know I remember
Yeah.
having great fears when I had the Mando
Mm-hmm.
scout trooper with the speeder bike.
Uh huh.
He was very much put the hands on first, and then put the hands onto the
Yeah,
handlebars,
I
and
would
then
do
put
that.
the
Yeah.
figure on there, and you will. He said it was fairly easy to put him on. He was kind of surprised when he did it, but
Yeah.
obviously he has a lot more experience with that too.
Yeah. Can you hold up that Appo to the camera real quick? Because I'm gonna
Yeah,
pull up
I'm gonna
mine.
put it up here. I'm just showing you the pieces was all,
Yeah.
but
So if you look at that, so that looks really good.
the weathering, it's, I mean, I know I've said this before 100 times, but the weathering on this guy, I'm going to show actually here in a minute just so you can see.
Uh
um
huh.
the night, I think Appo though with the paint apps here, I don't know if necessarily better than Jesse, because obviously he has a lot more
Jesse?
blue on his
Yes.
uniform and stuff, but
Uh
I'll
huh.
just show like here on the top, like you can see right here, just look at like what it looks like, the wear and tear and everything that there's been on the top of them. Like, I mean, honestly, how many times will we say did they spend time doing that? I'm always impressed by this with Hot Toys because I know we're like it's a $300 or $400 figure. I'm like, yeah, but how many times are we going to look at this? I mean, honestly, like most collectors, you know, most I know would not. But here is Appo
It's a
himself.
slippery slope. Don't go down that
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
road.
always
know.
say that. I always say that with like the Dean with the Gandalf, right? It's like, well, you can't see the pants prints clearly in the movie. It's like, well, it's just too slippery a slope to let them take that
Well, here's the other
leniency.
thing. I would say the Gandalf costs as much as this thing. So my
And I
expectation for
exactly why they
Gandalf.
shouldn't. That's exactly why they shouldn't take that liberty.
But I know
Um,
people are really excited that that's been put out. I'm glad to see that finally you know, it's
yeah,
got another
I
figure
feel
to
like
come
with
out.
just my luck, I'm gonna be the last guy to receive it. Sean Forrester
Uh,
says no trigger hands, Lane.
they do. No, they do. Because remember, they have basically hands, trigger hands, um, because you can wield both blasters and also the for going onto the vehicle handlebars, which will
Yeah.
I'm intending to, what I'm going to have him is one hand that'll be holding in one hand, either wielding one of his blasters or the blaster rifle.
Nice.
But as we can see here, one thing that is nice is that these are a little bit, here, see if I can get this out of the way, is that for the actual holsters for the guns is actually somewhat a little bit tighter. It's a little loosey goosey, but not as much like as you saw me with, say, Jesse just flopping around all over the place.
Yeah.
But he does still have obviously the standard back and everything. He's not going to be the last clone trooper I get because I am getting the Obi-Wan. I have that one already on pre
The 501st?
First, yeah, which
Nice.
obviously does not look like these. He is still nice. Obviously, with this is interesting because this is actually kind of a fabric. Actually,
Uh-huh. Are they typically like a vinyl?
Yeah, or something like that. But look at this, guys. I think this is cool.
The tatter?
Yeah, where they showed the damage and the tears and everything, which is, I don't know if they, because this is a fabric, I mean, it literally does kind of look like someone went.
That's a factory error they're passing on as damage.
Or there was one guy at the end of the line that
that's all his job was to just cut it.
Yeah, for this line, for these 2,000 figures, your job for the next like 2 weeks is right here here's the layout. You got to go tear here, here, and here, and make sure you don't F up, or it's like minus $10 to your pay for every day.
There you go.
If you don't pull it just right. But just
negative
the extra
50 points
detail
on
and
your
everything
social
doing
score.
that.
Back to the gulag with you.
Yeah.
Send that
And so you
motherfucker
got
back
the
to
Poltroon here. Obviously, this is different than, like, say, Jesse's or something like that we saw. The arm, I know Justin showed this a little bit, goes up about that far. So it still does have pretty good articulation. And this is also obviously one of the later bodies, not like the original 501st, that does pose pretty well. I mean, you are going to normally have him sitting on the bark, so I don't know how much posing you're going to have to necessarily do with them. But he's a nice looking figure. I mean, if you're not a fan of clones, you're not going to get this guy. I mean, he doesn't reinvent the wheel or anything. But he's got plenty of pose and ability, like most of the more modern clones do. You've got his I did check this out, after, like, for Jesse, his ankle joints here are pretty nice and tight, not like Jesse, the one that had the feet fall off for me. The body articulation is good. Obviously, you're going to need that a little bit for being able to get him posed correctly to sit on the speeder bike. So I'm glad they make sure to do that.
I'm wondering if that's why they also made it fabric instead of vinyl, since he is
I
going to
wouldn't
be
be
basically
surprised.
like crouched onto the bike for a long time. Quickly here, while Lane is showing that, so this is my custom Appo from, what is this, 2018, so 5 years ago? This was the 501st.
Yeah, he doesn't have the arrow. I know that was the big thing.
Yeah, the 501st Deluxe Sideshow clone, and then I put a decal of the arrow, added the pauldron, added the ammo boxes, and then the camo.
In the original, his little ammo boxes, those were blue, because, like, here they're white.
It really depends. I think, honestly, there's art that shows it like the 3 3/4 figures shows it all white, all black, blue and black, depending on the figure. I think I just went with these choices for the aesthetics.
Now, I will say, like, they do still have here on the side of his
that blue trim.
Yeah, they still have some blue trim. Obviously not as distinct as, like, the one you had. That's cool. I'm glad you pulled that up custom to kind of have something to compare it to a little bit. I do like here also the straps and stuff. They are a nice solid material on the front here. These straps and everything. Yeah, he's a nice looking trooper. I mean, I've never had a clone I thought was ugly per se or anything.
Mine was based on, like, the Saga collection figure. It's like, blue and black. But there's also some third-party figures that are that's probably Hot Toys. But there are different figures that have them. AliExpress, the Appos all white. There's different.
Now, one thing I
Different
will
versions
say,
there.
maybe one to say versus if you were still considering, other than leaving out the price, the one of these bark speeders for one of the things was the trooper that you were considering. I think the heavy infantry is going to have much better movement of the head because of this poltroon here. The head articulation, like trying to move it forward, not the greatest. It's going to start rubbing in there pretty easily. You definitely still, for like back and stuff, you can still move it pretty good for looking up sideways, but you're going to run into, especially on this direction. So he's probably going to be doing a lot of looking forward. So the extra like poltroon thing, the heavy ordnance has is much smaller and less restrictive than this guy. But anyway, that is all the time I wanted to spend on Appo right now. Did anybody, before we move over, anybody in chat, was there anything else you wanted to see with this guy? I want to ask because, like I said, this is kind of the focus for this hour, and then we'll have the second hour, which is going to be for I know you said it was going to be for the statue unboxings.
Dude just runs the show when he shows up.
I love it, bro.
I don't even know
Give
why
me a
we're
ride
here.
up. Nah, Lane's a good kid. Sean says the custom rocks. Thor Gaming says good evening. Lots of angels in the chat tonight. Appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, Lane, let's go ahead and take a look at the. You want me to switch to Cam 2?
Yeah, this will be the focus. This is why I'm speaking on my headset, guy. By the way, too, for you guys in chat, normally you guys hear me obviously on my mic. How is the headset working? Are you guys hearing me all right?
I've always said this, Lane, but I feel like your headset is better than your mic. But I know you said that you don't like to use it because you talk into it at work, but you sound great.
Yeah.
You sound as good
here,
as I need you
let
to
me
sound.
back it up here. Sorry, guys. I know this box is just so effing big. Like,
is it possible, Lane, to turn the camera? I'm getting like half of your wall as the view of the camera. Is it possible to just like scooch it a little bit to the right? Yeah, that's pretty good. Love it. Okay, perfect. Well.
Okay, so yeah, sorry. It's because of this big stupid thing.
Nah, you're good. Oh my god,
all
please
right,
don't.
So now I want you guys to be able to kind of see it even. Oh, well, I guess enough is on there. My cat tried to knock it off earlier, so I've been spooked. So as you can see here, it's got the one thing I'll say, and I would like your guys' opinion in chat too. The box does feel very boring. Like it's big.
It kind of does.
But for the cover for the Bark Speeder, that there's no Clone War, and I'll show you the other sides here in a minute, but it doesn't look any more interesting, really. I mean, it's a fine picture. Like this is probably more how I'm going to go for Appo, where he's holding the blaster up and everything. This is kind of the way I want to have him pose. He's going to be going. He's going on. This is going on top of a detail shelf next to Anakin on the staff.
Yeah.
And right below them is actually. I have my other clones, and like I have Clone Wars Ahsoka, so they all kind of go together there.
I would agree that the lighting is the box design is a bit boring. I don't know if it needs like one of those little sleeves.
Crazy. I'm
What's
glad
that?
you brought that up.
But
like, I usually don't give a shit about boxes. Like I just don't, because it's like. Yeah, it's cool, but I'm after what's on the inside. Like, unless I'm gonna display the box, which is like only like I don't know, like a Marvel Legends or something, or like a Black Series where they have like really cool art. But like for Hot Toys, like I don't really give a shit about the box. But that statue I unboxed last week had nothing on the box, and it pissed me off.
You were upset. You were kind of bummed.
It still fucking pisses me off. I had to move it earlier today. I was like, this stupid fucking artless box. So yeah, like I guess it does bother me some that.
Well, it makes me wonder then, and guys, the only reason I even bring it up is like, okay, so we've got, I mean, this is still better to me than like, say, if any of you guys got the DeLorean or the Tumbler where it's just a big ass shipping box. Like to me, I hate that. Like I want the box inside the shipping box or something. At least mark off, like, because I mean, I've gotten statues obviously that are in big boxes that have an art box inside the shipping box. I kind of want that distinction a little bit. So I do glad at least it does have this, or like the Boba Fett Book of Boba quarter scale versus the quarter scale Batman, which was the same situation. There was just a Batman inside of styrofoam in the shipping box,
Yeah.
whereas Boba had his own interior box. But it makes me wonder. So, okay, in 2024, is the dewback just going to come in a big ass looking box like this, which I'm sure it'll look fine with the figure sitting on it, but
Yeah.
for like a
Sean is
$700 possible figure, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Sean makes two good points here that the Lucasfilm is the mandate for the box design and that the inner card art is where Hot Toys can kind of put their
Yeah,
own spin
and
on it.
and I have looked at the inner card art, so I'm gonna. Don't worry, guys. Here, I'm gonna pull it out. I will be moving this over in a second, just because it takes up so much goddamn space here. But I was gonna make sure you guys got to see the full interior here, because this, if you watch anybody's unboxings or anything, this is amazing looking. I don't know.
Hey, there you go with the ATRT and the other clone there.
Now, here's what I'm going to say, because I know for some of you that like seeing this might convince you getting the ATRT. I just want you to keep in mind how big this is for the BARC and how big this thing is going to be. Like tall, it may not be as long, but it's going to be super tall. It's going to be big, man. Like the box for that is going to be big. But I love this setup. Now the heavy infant, the one with the sidecar with the heavy ordnance trooper is definitely better because it's got Appo, it's got this guy, and it's got the duel with both the clones on it. So it is definitely pretty amazing. But I think this is, if you have any indication for, and you have the space for sticking a bunch of these guys together in a diorama, you just see this and you're just like, well, I got to go buy the ATRT. You know,
Yeah.
if you had any questions, other than it's also $85 less than this. There's that thing too. But that's really cool. I figured people would really like that. So that does kind of make it up to me a little bit, but I still feel like for like a $500 Hot Toys figure, I mean, we've seen regular Marvel figures that have the box to me is part of a little bit of the presentation that just look better. So, all right, guys. So give me 1 second here while I am removing the big ass plastic of this. I probably should have taken this off beforehand, but we live and learn. Holy God, this BARC is so big. Let's see here. I figure you guys probably want to see the plastic come off. I'll move it here in a second, but doesn't feel like an unboxing. At least I like takes. Oh, now I see what it's taking. So thing. Got to get this. Okay. Let's see. I'm making this look way harder than it should. This kid. Oh yeah. There we go. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys, for the delay. Okay. So I'm gonna get the small. Jeez, guys. Oh boy. So here's just if you guys wanted to look at it real quick. We're just gonna move this in and out of here fast. This is the Appo. You know, for his stand and everything. For whatever reason, they put it on the bottom part of it, but it does. It's a standard steel with the Appo on it. Okay, so that's out of the way. All right. So first off, and they, you know, the BARC is mostly put together, so that you don't have to put a lot of stuff together, which is nice. So this is going to be the base.
Oh, I like that.
Now this
I
is
like
actually
that a lot.
this is a reused one. It's from an Iron Man.
Can you Lane, can we see the length of this next to the standard base? I'm just curious how long this
sure.
is versus.
Hold on, I'll put them right
I like
next
that.
to each other.
I like that base a lot. Oh, okay.
So the
See, I
base
think-
isn't huge. So what you're going to attach it to
Yeah.
does not take up a ton of space. You
I
can
like
fit
that
it.
base.
Yeah, you can fit that. You're going to be able to fit that now lengthwise, so you don't bonk your head or something. Might be a different story, but you can fit this like on top of DTOF or something like that pretty easily. But this is supposed to. I don't know which one, guys, but I know I've seen in a couple reviews it's an Iron Man base that's being reused. I think one of the Iron Man 2 ones. If anybody in chat might know. But as you can see, sort of like on top. I know it's not exact here, but if you like have it probably standard there, as you can see, it's not that much bigger than a standard base. Of course, I don't really use these. I position all my figures up. So I don't know. Hey, anybody in chat, real quick? Here's the two for the crotch grabber, and then you're gonna have the regular stand, which will be hooking this up in a little bit. Now, from what I've seen, some of the reviews and stuff, it is nice and sturdy. So, you know, you're going to be able to move it, lean it. So it's very strong, very sturdy. So
I like this.
Yeah. So now I'm going to just show you guys. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I asked a question.
Canadian Collector says, dope figure. I ordered one too. Look at that.
Nice. I think you're not going to realize the size of this thing until you. Yes, that's the one thing that may shock you, because this thing is bigger, I think, overall than the speeder bike. It's wider, but I might be a little bit longer. But I'll show you guys now, just real quickly. These are the one pieces you have. The nice thing is with this one, it comes pretty much put together. Not even, you might remember for the speeder bikes, you had to put them together. So
yeah.
So what you'll have to attach still is going to be the blasters. And as you can see, I think these are the ones with the rack here. These are the ones attached towards the front. But you can see here, my thing would focus. Has some really nice, the paint and everything. Looks very nice. There's a little bit of weathering here on the thing. You can see to it. And the weathering is supposed to be a little bit different, I think. For this is one of the ones that attaches to the farther back. The gunmetal's really nice on this.
Mm-hmm.
Looks really good. Everything on this looks pretty, very cool. Okay, so now we're going to come to the main. And wow, okay, so this is lighter than I thought it was going to be. Which I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. Oh, God, this thing is big.
What would you estimate the length of this?
I think it's supposed to be 26 inches long.
Damn, son.
I don't know. I think it's 2 or 3, maybe. If anybody owns it or can look it up. I think it's because I have the Bat Pod, which I think is 22 or 23.
Mm-hmm.
But here you can see from the side,
Dude,
this thing is massive.
Clean.
It's very light though, so it's very easy. It's not very heavy. Here, give me 1 second, guys. Let me shift this.
Dude, I like this.
Try not to show up too much in my bedroom. But
Nasty boy.
Let's see here. Okay, there we go. I have to it's long enough that I'm having to rub against the wall and hold it on here, but I can hold it with one hand. So as you can see here, nice side view. I'm gonna bring it in closer here, but you got look at that,
I like
the detail.
See, now you haven't put those little pieces on yet, right?
No,
okay.
Everything's attached except for the blasters.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. Now look there. You can see the scratching and the weathering and everything. Looks really nice. Right across the body
Kensington,
here.
Sunnyvale Russ in the chat. What's up, guys? And
if I'm going too fast, guys, let me know and I'll slow down here. Because I know this is
good.
kind of what probably people mostly wanted to see.
Dude,
so
look at that.
Here is from the front view.
Can you swoosh it around? There you go. I love it. Dude, this thing looks fucking awesome.
And so you guys can see articulation here.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
he's got 2 handlebars.
Yeah. So I'll probably keep these flat and then be using these because these are the main ones to attach the hand to.
That's like the chopper, bro.
Hey,
just
dude,
cruising.
that's the one thing I can say. My favorite scene for Ahsoka was Chopper when he's trying to get
Oh, yeah.
the
Get the
get
bombs or
the
whatever.
special get the item so that they can throw it at the ship. I'm not trying to say too many spoilers, even though I know it was like last week.
I like how you, Zach was like, "Oh, when they're trying to get the thing," you're like, "No, this thing where they're trying to get the thing."
Yeah. So here's a couple things, guys, to show you. So
Silly
these
goose.
I'm trying to look to see make sure I'm in camera correctly, and I feel like
Look at this. We got Watto Scrapyard in the chat. What's up, bud?
What the?
Hey, nice. So let me see
What's
if I can
up,
get it at
dude?
this angle.
I miss
Might
that
be
guy.
easier. So as you can
Me
see
too.
here, the flaps are maneuverable, both sides. So you have that articulation. Here, so you can get kind of look at the detail of the front exhaust port here. See how it even has there some of the paint that's worn away and everything.
Yeah. Wish they'd put some soot, like some of that black paint in there.
Oh,
That'd be pretty cool.
you don't worry, I'm getting there.
Oh, wow.
All right, Porky
So-
Pig.
So
How dare you?
just to kind of put what you're talking about here, see right there, you can start
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
some of the sooting from the engine and stuff. And I'll show you here
Yeah,
a little
look at
bit
that.
some other spots.
Punisher access in the chat. What's up, my guy?
Here's the detail, like with the 501st coloring, the Republic / Imperial insignia. Now,
Galactic Empire.
and then so what's nice here, I don't know, anybody in chat, did any of you guys or own whether the Return of the Jedi speeder bike or who owned the Mando one, or you owned it at some point, sold
Not
it or
I.
whatever?
Not
I'm
I.
curious here for a minute. But as you can see, I can hold this guy. He's not super heavy, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Can you show us where it ports in on the bottom to hit the
I'm
stand?
gonna hear. This is the one maybe negative to this thing. I'm gonna show you.
I think I know what you're getting at.
But I wanted to just see if anybody. Okay, so as you might know, here we're trying to put the feet and everything on the speeder bikes was terrible, or trying not to break the pedals. Well, here the pedals have a lot more articulation. You can move them up.
Ooh, I like that little
down.
wire, the little tendon structure.
Yeah, they have the
Is that metal? Those little wires? Oh, I like that.
This front one definitely feels like metal. I think this one feels thinner. This might be plastic, but you have a lot more articulation to be able to manipulate. So you can, if you're having problem making the feet look like, make the feet look like they're resting, I think you have more movement where you can do it. Also, this does have here some slight articulation where you can move it out more, in and out.
Yeah.
So that to me is really cool. So it definitely gives you a lot. So here, I apologize if I'm going a little long, guys. Here, and I'm not trying to make this boring or anything.
No, this is fucking.
I'm
dope,
I'm not going to try and put Appo on this on camera. I just don't feel comfortable trying to do it. As you know, I've had some issues.
You're good, baby.
But I'm going to attach it to the main thing here so you guys can see it on there. Or I'm going to try and attach the blasters here in like 2 minutes. Because I want to get us out of here on time so you guys can get to your stuff.
What a legend, bro. What an absolute legend.
But as you can see, I know I showed you earlier, but just I'm trying to, so you can see here the back part of the engine, just the paint apps and everything. Now, I did want to show you what I was talking about earlier. Which black lines are you wondering about?
I think he means the panel lining. Like between the lines that separate the panels.
No, they're actually like carved in there to the plastic. It's all the panels. These are all, they don't open necessarily, but they all have that. I want to show you what you were asking about. Right there, baby. Look at all that soot from the engine.
Magnetized or? Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
The port. And I like that soot. That's a nice gradient. Nice bit of patina, as it were.
Yeah, they add, dude, they went all out on this. Like, they did a fantastic job. Look at the
Yeah, this thing is insane.
Yeah, just the workman here. I'm having to get into funny poses so I can
It's
show
so
you.
much like
Look at the detail on the engine there and everything. Like, I'm really impressed with this.
yeah,
Like
it's
the
so much more
engineering put into
imposing
this.
than I thought I was gonna be.
Yeah,
Right? I
this
like
is
it.
cool, guys. Um,
I like this lane like probably twice as much as I thought I would.
mhm.
I like this a lot. This is cool.
And then this is just so you guys can see. Give me a second here. I want to make this show as best as possible, but then I want to, as you can see here, so you can kind of get the detail on the actual panel here and everything. Obviously, that's pretty basic. Um, you are going to have to, I think, put the trooper a little bit at a little bit of a weird angle. You know how they always seem to be with seats, trying to sit them there
Yeah.
like Palpatine or something. It's a little awkward, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
it looks really cool, guys. I'm impressed with this. I know people like to make fun because they sell stuff. Well, I do regret to inform you that this probably getting sold is not going to be happening maybe in a couple of years if I have to like for something else. Now, to give you guys the last thing that was requested, then I'll try and attach it. So this is the connection point, which is what we're going to attach it here onto. Right here, that's the main connection point. This is the one thing I don't like, guys, and this is just because of the design of the bark. Is this big stupid thing? Right there, you guys can see it. That other port right here. That is the port for the sidecar. so, so if you have the sidecar and everything on it, okay, with the sidecar bark, that's fine. You can fill it. But with Appos here, obviously there's nothing to attach it to. It's
Yeah,
the
but
only.
Lane, you're never gonna be looking at it.
I understand that, but to me, like this thing. Well, let me get it
See what I
attached
did
here.
there?
How dare you?
That was you. You just said that.
Look at that. Brenton's in the chat. Brenton, if you want to join the next unboxing, let me know. The one right after this one.
Brendan, join. I haven't seen you in forever.
I miss him.
Okay.
Brendan.
I don't know if I've got it locked completely in place.
I'm not
but
gonna finish it as a team.
I'm gonna be fooling around with this probably. Okay.
That's a really good
So-
height too, honestly.
Yeah. So you not trying to get to here. So you guys can get a full view of it now. So yeah, got it. I'm making sure it's just attached. So just kind of give you guys a basic idea. You had it like kind of veering, maybe a little bit. Like kind of at an angle there. Yeah, I think that might be a little too far. I don't think I have it completely
This
connected.
thing is
fully.
fucking cool, man. This
Yeah.
is way cooler to me, I think. I don't know if it's just like because I feel like it's less fragile, but I feel like I'd rather own something like this than the speeder bike, to be honest.
Yeah. This is definitely less fragile than the speeder bike. I don't have it fully. I need to attach it, twist it a little bit more, get it attached fully. So the last thing, just to show you guys, like I said, if I felt a little bit more comfortable doing this on thing, I need to look at the instructions, but the blasters like attach. I need to look at the book. I forget exactly where they're supposed to attach. Oh, okay, yeah. So,
Should be on
but
the
there's
nose.
specific ones that go. I think. Try here real quick. I think this is one of the ones. Got to be a little bit careful with these because the back ones are supposed to be a little bit small, so you have to mess with them a little bit. Here. You can see the blasters a little bit better. and then there's 2 more that'll attach to the front. Okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty much everything with this. Anybody have any other questions or anything with it? Or, obviously you guys, or did you want to see anything with Appo again?
I want to see him on it, but I mean, if you
Yeah.
want to do it.
What I might do is what I probably, Zach, and guys in chat, what I think I might do is once I have him posed up and everything, like next time I'm going to do an unboxing, I'll have him in the bar, like I'll bring in him in the bar so people can actually see like him on it and everything, like kind of a final pose thing when I get that done. Cause I know people would probably like to see it. You're muted, Zach.
I was like, God damn, this motherfucker's talking right over me. I was gonna ask Lane. Obviously, this is a big purchase, but do you think it was like? Are you satisfied with the purchase? Do you feel like it was a good purchase?
Yeah, I think once I get Apple on it and final, that's it's
Yeah.
not till I get everything on there, nothing breaks or anything like that.
Yeah, you don't feel stressed.
But I'm what I will say is that I think overall as a piece, it's a good one. It's hard for me to say unless you're a Clone Wars fan. I think, if you're going to try and track this down or something, because obviously it has been waitlisted in other places or it's selling for more. I don't think it's necessarily a necessary piece. But if the big thing is the space. As you guys saw me trying to show it, Zach and Dean mentioned, like, this thing is huge, guys. It's very lightweight.
It's impressive, though.
But it's impressive. Like, I'll just say the thing I like the best is that Hot Toys took you could have would you guys been shocked if they kind of farted this out a little bit?
No, not at all.
If there had been some things with it, just like, because it's the BARC speeder. It's not like the dewback.
It's not iconic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like the dewback where I think they're going to need to nail that beast. Kind of like, even though they nailed the blur for the look and everything, it's totally. If you're getting the one with the sidecar, I would still have a little bit of a hard time doing it necessarily because that's $625. But I mean, I guess it's, I don't know, less than Iron Man Mark III 2.0 with the gantry. So it's less than that. But if you could get it and you have the space for it, get it at retail or reasonably around there. I'm just going to speak for the Appo and the BARC by itself. I think it's worth it. That one for like $510 or $515, what it was, it's worth it because it's very cool. The paint apps, everything are great. When we talk about a premium thing from Hot Toys, I'm not comparing this to the Artisan series or something, guys.
It feels like an achievement, though, right? Like it's not. It's just plastic and whatever. But I feel like this in a way. Because the Anakin, like, they have all the templates for
the Joker was
robes.
as much as, to put it in context, guys, the Joker costs as much as this.
I feel like you're getting value with this, though. Right? Like, especially if you have the space, right? If you just have a DTOF, I feel like you're probably not getting the value. But if you have, like, a Maju case or the garage shelves, like, I feel like there is value here.
It's cool, guys. I mean, it's not for everybody, but if they like do another one, say they do a 212 or whatever they end up doing for another series, I think it could be worth getting. Just because it's a unique vehicle, and they may never make them again. They may not make them again. But I would say if you were getting this, looking at this has me excited for other Star Wars vehicles because I have some other vehicles on pre-order. Like I'm getting the Bat. I've got both Bat cycles. They're going to notice that. Now, my parents are probably going to hate it because it's going to be right outside the door when they come to visit outside of the bedroom. They go stop walking.
I hate to hear it.
Like I got both the Bat cycles. They're not the same size as this, thank God. But like that has, the Batman one is 22 inches long. So the one from the Flash, so that one's really big too. But this has me excited for what other vehicles. This has me excited, even though I'm not getting it, for seeing how the ATRT comes out. Because that one, in theory, should be a little bit more dynamic, even. So if you guys are considering a vehicle, you can fit that one. I would go. Right now, I've got the Stap. I don't know if you count that 100% or not, but the Stap with Anakin. I've got the Bat Pod. I've got this, and then I've got the Pattinson Bat Cycle, and I've got the in 2024, whenever the hell it comes out, the Bat Flick. That's Bat Cycle. I'm not going to get the ATRT because it's not going to fit, like, basically where I'm setting this up. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how much, like, I was almost like, oh my god, this thing's so big. What was I thinking? But seeing it now, it's just it's cool, guys. I think I've got to reattach it to the base a little bit better. Basically, tomorrow night when I'm going to be watching these guys on Tuesday night, be talking about the upcoming stuff. I am going to just say one thing, and then I guess we can wrap it up so that then you guys can get set for your show and unboxing after this. So you guys don't talk about this. This is for you guys tomorrow. But I have to say, guys, I'm all in on the Praetorian Guard. I already contacted my LCS. I think that piece is awesome. It's $245. I may buy two.
There you go. Well, thank you, Lane, for coming on and showing us this fucking awesome piece. I think you did it perfectly. I'm glad that we didn't snap anything on the figure today. I hope your good luck continues to when you're privately putting it on there.
Until I get my, like, Joker in 2024 with the sculpted hair one, and, like, I touch it and, like, it just spontaneously combusts in my hand.
Yeah. Well, so if you're watching live and you're like, man, I want to see more unboxings, we're going to in this one, I didn't want to have a second unboxing going because I felt like both the things that we're unboxing tonight deserve their own stream because they were both so cool. So we're gonna finish this one, and we got 35 people. Let's all jump into the next stream, and we have honestly one of my top 3 grails since I've been collecting statues. I was able to pick it up. So Lane, you're welcome to join us if you know. I know you have work tomorrow, so if not, no hard feelings. But yeah, we'll be starting the next stream here in a few minutes. I think Brenton may jump on that one as well. But we love you guys. We'll do our bonus codes on the next video. I have to get all that
Getting
stuff
close. Getting close.
Yeah,
man.
it's real close.
And we talk about monster things, guys. Remember, that's a 6-scale Carnage, which is as tall almost as a quarter-scale Hot Toys figure.
There you go. Well, Lane, love you, buddy. Are you going to be on any? Are you going to be on any streams this weekend? We can plug that as well.
Well, obviously, I'll probably be on After Dark on Wednesday night with you guys. Where obviously, I'm going to be telling you, hey, I'm on Cloud 9, guys. Probably because by then, hopefully, I'll have everything situated and everything will be perfect. But on Thursday night, it should be being on Hot Toys Hotline. We didn't go last week because there wasn't a lot of news or anything, and we're gonna just stack up these 2 weeks. And I'm just, I'm interested to see really what you and Dean got cooking up for those statue unboxings.
Ooh, I'm so excited. It almost didn't happen. They fucking came like 20 minutes before we started this show. So we'll switch over to that. Lane, have a good night. Congratulations again. And we'll catch you guys here in a few minutes for the next unboxing.
Thank you guys for joining us. Much appreciated.